Welcome to BonVoyageTV. I'm Gerard Murphy, I'm a travel agent, and this travel show brings travel experts right to your lounge room. I'm joined again by Olivia van Leerop.
Thank you, evening.
Nice to see you.
You too.
And this week we're pretty excited because we're going on our first field trip. So rather than bring travel experts into your lounge room from our studio, we're going down on a ship called Celebrity Solstice, which
exciting.
is about the largest ship that regularly calls in here over the summer. It's a beautiful ship from Celebrity Cruise Lines. And Olivia, as you know if you've been watching, has a background in super yachts. Now, Olivia, this is kind of the same standard, but a lot bigger.
Yeah, it was extraordinary. I was actually very surprised with the level of luxury. I didn't think it would be on par, but absolutely amazing. I mean, the restaurants were exquisite. The wine menu, I think we saw a wine that was over $5,000 for a bottle. So it's really catering to a really high-end guest.
We were tempted with that.
Yes, we were. The budget didn't quite cut it, unfortunately, did it?
This show has a very small budget.
But you know, it was exquisite, and the whole sun deck was all lawn, so you could have beautiful picnics, and yeah, you'll see on the pictures obviously, but it was gorgeous.
So rather than have you waiting around, we're going to head straight down to Prince's Wharf in Auckland. This was filmed on Tuesday after Easter. It's a beautiful sunny day in Auckland, and we meet John Paul, who is the hotel manager on board. So let's go now to Celebrity Solstice at Auckland. Hello everyone, it's Tuesday the 7th of April, the day after Easter, and we're in sunny Auckland and we're on the lawn, but not a normal lawn. This lawn is on the beautiful Celebrity Solstice, and I'm joined by Olivia, of course, and our special guest John Paul, who is the hotel manager for Celebrity Solstice. Welcome to your own lawn.
Thank you very much, welcome aboard.
It's fantastic to be here, and not many ships have lawns, so we better start with that.
To my knowledge, we're the only ship in the world, I should say the only cruise line in the world, because we have 5 ships in this class that all have some degree of lawn on the top deck.
Right. It takes a little bit of manicuring. It's looking pretty good. Better than my lawn at home.
It's looking pretty good. We have a full-time lawn keeper on board the ship, and that's his role. His job is to make sure that it's green at all times. And you know, you can imagine when you're going through various climates as we do, it can be quite sensitive. So we have to do some repairs from time to time. The lawn keeper looks after that.
It's looking pretty sharp. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now you've got, as I understand it, after the captain, you're basically the most important person on the ship.
Well, we say everyone's important on board the ship. But I do have a big role. As hotel director, I oversee all of the hotel operations. So essentially anything that a guest would come in contact with, I oversee.
So that is the hotel aspect, so the cabin and
that
food
would be
and beverage.
The most important things, food and beverage.
Yes.
Yes. Housekeeping, guest relations, finance, IT, entertainment, of course. So I have about 9 heads of department that report daily on the hotel operations, everything that we're providing for our guests, the services, and any issues that may arise.
And how many staff altogether underneath the 9 departments then?
There is 1,256 crew members on board the ship.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know all their names?
Of course I do.
And how long would they be on the ship for? 'Cause
depending on the position that they're in, a crew member comes on board for what we call a contract. So they're basically contractually bound to start on one day and finish on one day. And as mentioned, depending on the position, it could be anywhere from 4 months to 8 months.
So with all these crew that you have on board, I imagine, coming from my super yacht background, there's a lot of scandal that goes on, you know, when you've got many days or weeks at sea, you know, crew can get upset, there can be fights, there can be all sorts of things. So how much of that do you have to deal with?
Well, fights are very rare, I will say that. But, you know, we are a big floating city with 1,250 crew members, on average about 3,000 guests. It really is a city. We've got all the resources of such. So anything that would happen in a city tends to happen on a ship at some time or another.
And is there a majority of a certain type of nationality on board as crew, or is it really just an even mixture?
You know, we've got some big nationalities, well-represented nationalities, and that varies depending on where our hiring partners are around the world.
And what about in terms of guests on board, nationalities?
Guests on board is changing as well,
Absolutely,
and that really depends on the type of cruise that we're currently on, and the itinerary that we're on, where we're sailing. I think as we leave Australia and New Zealand, we're sailing with approximately 1,300 Australians on board.
Oh, wow.
Bearing in mind that we left from Australia, we're midway through right now. I believe we've got 300 New Zealanders on as well, and then the rest is a balance between Americans, Canadians, Germans, French. Really, every nationality is represented here.
Yeah, oh, fabulous.
So when you have the changeover, so this cruise started in Sydney, you have 3,000 odd people getting off and 3,000 getting on. There's no late checkout.
It's a very daunting thought, isn't it?
Now, I know there's no late checkout.
There's no late checkout.
Explain what happens in a relatively short space of time.
Absolutely. It's logistically, it's a mammoth task to turn a ship over in a very short period of time, and we don't sit in a port and kind of get everyone off and then get the ship all ready for a new cruise the next day. We do it in basically an hour. The preparations would begin the previous day. All of the teams would get ready what they need to, and then we would start disembarkation at approximately 6:30 in the morning. We started in Sydney, and by the time we get the last guest off is usually just before 10 a.m. And we aim to get our first guest on board the ship at 10:45 a.m. So very, very tight.
It's just such madness, because you've got to change all the sheets, you've got to redo all the rooms, get all the food on board.
It's our laundry master's favorite day.
Oh, I know. I've been there on a smaller scale.
I think that is one of the most significant jobs that day, is just getting every single stateroom ready. And that's a process that has taken years of practice. We've got it down to a fine art, and usually we manage to get our guest rooms open for our guests approximately 1 o'clock. So they can come on, they can have a little bit of lunch in any of the venues that we have, and by 1 o'clock they can head off to their rooms and
gosh, that's extremely
start
impressive.
unpacking.
That's one of the keys with cruising, of course, is you get into your cabin, you're unpacking once. So on this cruise, you've started in Sydney, been to Bay of Islands, you're going Tahiti, Hawaii, and finishing in Vancouver.
Correct. We're going. That's actually 2 cruises. This is our repositioning, going from Australia and New Zealand over to Alaska, and we'll spend the Canadian summer, American summer in Alaska. So this repositioning cruise is actually broken down into 2 parts: Sydney to Honolulu, and we'll spend a couple of days in Honolulu and Lahaina, and then we'll do the second leg over to Vancouver. It'll be 1 of 2 calls in the season of Vancouver, and then for the duration of the summer, Solstice will be based out of Seattle.
As you can see, it was a lovely morning in Auckland. It was rather nice being up there on that lawn deck.
I know, it was exquisite. We didn't want to leave, did we?
And he attracted a bit of interest. There were passengers walking past wondering what's going on. And,
trying to get in the shop.
We had a little bit of an audience. So we'll be back to finish our interview with John Paul in a moment. And of course it wouldn't be BonVoyageTV unless we had a great deal for you this week. And our deal involves the Celebrity Solstice on this very cruise in 2016. So stand by.
An extraordinary vacation begins with an extraordinary trip. Celebrities Alaska. That's modern luxury.
Ed and Vivo, we've got the biggest crush on Graham Norton. So we flew all the way to his place so he could have a crush on us. Graham Norton's own Sauvignon Blanc. Southern Hemisphere grapes meet Northern Hemisphere fab.
So you're back with BonVoyageTV. We're interviewing Jean-Paul, the hotel manager on the Celebrity Solstice. So we'll go back to the interview now, but stand by, of course, because we've got a great deal on Celebrity Solstice to tell you about.
Yes, I'm very interested to hear about this. Quite tempted, actually. It was beautiful.
Okay. We've mentioned food and beverage. It's obviously a very important part of your role and of the cruise overall. So we're going to have a look at several of the restaurants now. One of my favourites is the main restaurant, so
Yes.
Can you just explain this glorious wine rack?
The glorious wine rack. Well, I should first start off by saying that Celebrity takes its food and wine very, very seriously. We see ourselves as one of the leaders in the industry, and we've been recognized as such, winning a lot of awards for the diversity of the various restaurants that we have. Our Grand Epernay is the main dining room. That's the biggest dining room that we have on board the ship, where many of our guests have dinner every single night. And it is inspired by Epernay, France, home of champagne. And that's where you'll see a lot of bubbles. All of the glass ornaments and fixtures are all bubbles. And right at the back of the room is a 2-story wine tower. It is temperature controlled and houses not all, but many of the wines that we offer on board.
That is, the whole of that room, the whole of that dining room is spectacular, but I remember going in there for the first time and that wine rack just blew me away. I changed seats so I could just watch it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and I think it's surprising for our guests when they come in and they see it and they see the size of it, but I think they're even more surprised when they actually see some of our sommeliers entering it, and it's a working wine cellar for us.
Wow,
you know,
it's
we've
not
got a
just a
staircase
show.
there and a catwalk, a glass catwalk halfway up. So you know, you could be ordering your bottle of wine, and your wine steward a minute or two later would be up there on the second floor pulling your bottle from the rack. It's quite fun to see.
Oh, that's lovely.
One of the features of the ship is that always remember is it's clean, it's bright, and there's a lot of glass. And I just love that glass stairway. So we'll have Olivia walk down there later.
We'll take a look at that.
Just like Cinderella.
The grand entrance.
But you're not confined to just eating in the Epernay restaurant. There are lots of other options. So tell us about some of those.
There is, and our food and beverage team have done an amazing job about giving you options and diversity in regards to what you're going to have for dinner each night. We've got Silk Harvest as one of our specialty restaurants, and Silk Harvest features the cuisine of the Silk Route. So you've got some Japanese flavors, some Thai flavors, Chinese, Vietnamese, it's all there. Next door is the Tuscan Grill, which we model as an Italian steakhouse. So you can go and get a good bowl of pasta or maybe a ribeye steak and a nice Barolo wine. Next door to that is Blue, which is a very, very successful concept we introduced for the dining of our guests that are staying in our Aqua Class suites. And Aqua Class is really based a lot about wellness and health, and features the spa, but also features clean cuisine, and that's all available in Blue.
I might give that a bit from us. The clean cuisine doesn't
really
work
lovely.
with me.
And you know, if you feel like a little snack during the day, you can head to the bistro on 5, and the bistro is a French creperie. They do all sorts of wonderful treats.
Beautiful.
Savory and sweet crepes and panini sandwiches.
And tell us more about the spa then. What sort of therapies do you offer at the spa?
Oh, we're partnered with Canyon Ranch, which is a world recognized spa company.
Yeah.
And they have amazing services available. I mean, it's a huge portion of the space, and it's located very high, right at the front of the ship. So amazing views. You could get a massage and enjoy the views as we sail past some of these beautiful islands that we're heading to, as well as the fitness center and barber shop. We've got an acupuncturist on board, so there's a wealth of things that you could occupy yourself with up there in the spa.
Oh, sounds so good. I think that's where I'll be spending most of my time. And in terms of medical help then, so you're talking about there's an acupuncturist, is there doctors on board, or you yourself, are you trained medically?
Haven't delivered any babies at this point. No, we've got a full hospital on board, and
wow.
We've got a team of doctors as well as nurses. So
yeah.
we're equipped
Incredible.
to handle anything that would come our way.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. And how long do you spend underway without getting to shore? Guests more so than crew?
I'm sorry?
How long would the guests spend underway without going ashore? Is it always just overnight, or do they spend longer periods?
Depending on the itinerary, you know, we're usually in port almost every day.
Yeah.
When we do, you know, some runs like this, these are the longest days at sea that we will have all season.
Yeah.
I think the trip from Honolulu to Vancouver is 5 sea days.
Yeah.
But we will break it up as much as we can and
Yeah.
and give everyone a chance to not only stretch their legs but do some shopping,
Yeah.
which is very popular in this part of the world.
Now, entertainment is, we've mentioned days at sea and keeping everyone amused and entertainment on board, I know is really good. Some people like Simon Cowell diss cruise ship entertaining. If the people are no good, they say, oh, you should try going on a cruise ship. Now, this falls under your area of command. So what's on the entertainment roster?
We take our entertainment very seriously because our guests take it seriously, and I think that we're seeing now in the industry a very strong move by our guests deciding which ship to go on based on the entertainment that's available to them. So we have our own production cast on board the ship, and they do a variety of different production shows, and in between those production shows we fly in guest entertainers from all over the world. So, you know, whether they're comedians, whether they're vocalists, instrumentalists, we try to keep as much diversity as we can. We try to give a flavor of the localities that we're sailing in as well. And in addition to that, we do smaller, we'll call them satellite shows throughout the ship. So entertainment doesn't necessarily just have to happen in the theater.
Right.
It could be up here on the lawn. It could be in the martini bar while you were having a cocktail. And as we move forward as a company, Royal Caribbean, which is our parent company, Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, have built the world's largest production facility just outside of Miami, where we are developing 18 new shows over the next 18 months. So over the next year and a half, we'll start to introduce those shows to the ships and keep it all fresh and interesting.
So I take it there's a whole pool of talent people that are searching the globe for you. You're not.
They haven't asked me yet.
You're not personally like an expert judge.
I'm still waiting for the phone call.
Any talent amongst the crew?
Of course, of course. It's amazing, you know, with 1,300 crew. It's amazing what they're able to do, and every now and then we'll get the crew together and say it's an opportunity to come and show us, you know, what talents you have and do a crew talent show. And I'm always blown away by some of the amazing talent that is here on board the ship.
Apart from all the entertainment that's put on, what about just relaxing around the pool or on this lovely lawn? What other hideaway spots are they on this beautiful ship?
One of the great things about Solstice class is there are lots of little hideaways, and as you walk around the ship you'll see them. You know, the lawn is a great place to come and to be able to relax, and we do picnics up here. You can come and put a blanket down and read a book and just enjoy the salt air as we sail. But we've also got, you know, 3 swimming pools on board the ship. As I look forward here, several different decks of quiet little areas where you can hide away and enjoy the sun.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
So Celebrity Solstice, I think, has been visiting New Zealand for 3 years. Have you got a personal highlight of ports, or?
Well, I should tell you that my first season here, I was on the ship for its first season. And then left, and I was working on some other ships, and I requested to come back to Solstice because I had such an incredible time in Australia and New Zealand. So this is our 3rd season now. We love going through Milford Sound. It's got to be one of the most beautiful places on the planet. Personally, I've really enjoyed exploring the North and South Islands of New Zealand.
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. It's good to hear.
So after today, you're leaving Auckland at 4 p.m, I think. Next port of call, Papeete, or is it
Papeete, correct, yes. We're heading home. Literally for me, I'm heading home, being from Vancouver myself, heading to spend the summer in Alaska. with the bears and the snow.
And the whales.
And the whales, correct.
Do you have that sort of equipment on board like kayaks and things, or is that a little bit of a safety issue having 3,000?
Not necessarily kayaks, but saying that we have incredible shore excursions. So in all of the ports that we go to, we give you the opportunity to be able to get off the ship and explore, whether it be, you know, in a kayak, in a helicopter, on a motorcycle. It's all available to you.
Yeah, fabulous. So you kind of offer the guests a bit of a schedule and they can choose what they do when they get ashore.
Ultimately, the great thing about coming on a cruise is you get to choose what you want to do. It's not an experience that's really put in a box. It's very, very open and can be customized to whatever you want to experience on your vacation.
Yeah, fabulous.
Well, you're nearly ready to sail. Well, not quite. You've got a few hours yet. You've got a few more guests to welcome on board, more cleaning to do, beds to make. We better not hold you up.
I'm sure you better want to get back to
Pleasure meeting you both. Thanks for coming ashore.
Tahiti, and wish you bon voyage.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Lovely to meet you.
The spirit of our home lives in moments like these. Hawaiian Airlines. Hawaii flies with us.
Well, that was the first out-of-studio experience for BonVoyageTV. I think that went quite well, don't you?
Oh, that was a lovely morning. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So tell me about this deal that we have.
Yes, the deal. We've spoken to Celebrity Cruises and managed to get something a little bit different. As John Paul said on the interview, the ship was off to Papeete, Moorea, Bora Bora, into Lahaina and to Honolulu. And then they have another cruise that goes from Hawaii up to Vancouver, his hometown, and then does a 7-day Alaska cruise. We've talked Celebrity Cruises into giving us those 3 cruises as one, tied together. In 2016, if you want to be on the cruise that left Auckland last week, travelling Auckland to Tahiti, Hawaii, then an Alaska cruise, finishing in Seattle, look out at this deal. You've got 2 choices. You can have a 17-night cruise, Auckland to Hawaii, including 3 nights accommodation in Hawaii, or 34 nights, Auckland to Seattle, with 3 nights in Seattle, and flying home with Hawaiian Airlines. Deal 1 is cruising Auckland to Hawaii. So you go Auckland, Papeete, Moorea, Bora Bora, lovely Lahaina, and finishing in Honolulu. That's a 14-night cruise. We have 3 nights at the Modern Hotel in Honolulu, my favourite hotel. So it's a 17-night fly cruise. An inside cabin will cost you $5,695, or a veranda from $6,795. Or if you have a little bit more time, why not take the big kahuna? This is combining 3 cruises, Auckland to Hawaii, Hawaii to Vancouver, and an Alaska cruise to Seattle. So you do the first cruise we've just talked about, then you do a Hawaii cruise, which includes Lahaina, Kona and Hilo, finishing in Vancouver, and then a 7-night Alaska cruise, which finishes in Seattle. So the whole deal is 34 nights, including 3 nights in Seattle. An inside cabin is from $9,495, and a veranda cabin is from just $11,995. You can find these deals on our website, bonvoyage.co.nz, or call us at any time on 0800 BonVoyage, which is 0800 266 869. And now, Olivia, we've put the screws on Celebrity Cruise Lines. We've really tightened them down, got an extra deal. You and I sat down and had a lovely cup of coffee in the F&A restaurant.
Yes, it was
and
lovely.
as you know, they wouldn't just let us quickly sit there. We got the full service. It was great. If anyone watching our show books a Celebrity Cruise in the next 2 or 3 weeks, the first 20 people will get to join you and me in the Epinay restaurant on Celebrity Solstice when it's back in the summer coming.
Yay. So we actually get to dine and...
we will have the full lunch.
Ah, that's a treat.
So Olivia's excited.
Yay.
So when Olivia calms down from that little surprise of going to lunch.
I love surprises.
You love surprises. We've another, not a surprise because we have mentioned it before, but we now can give our viewers details of our big competition, which for the first part of the year is New Zealand's Best Packer. So think of MasterChef or X Factor. It's like that, but better. Yeah. So, Olivia, how are you at packing your bag, your suitcase?
I personally am not a very organised person, so and it's been very easy for me in my yachting career because my whole world is in one tiny little room, and when I leave that world, everything comes with me. So there's no organising of what to bring. It's just everything goes in the one pack. But
so your whole life is in a suitcase?
Yes. Oh, I lived out of a suitcase for 9 years, basically. Yeah.
I think Olivia looks quite good for living out of a suitcase. You do well.
Thank you.
But this is a real competition. We want some skill. What it involves, we have Voyager Luggage, our luggage sponsor for this, and we will have a weekly winner, and the weekly winner gets a Voyager suitcase. Now this competition runs from now until the middle of June. We'll have a weekly winner, and we will choose the top 3 weekly winners, and they're going to come in to Face TV, into the studio, and 3 people will get to be involved in a live pack-off. Now I don't know in terms of space how we're going to exactly do this, but we might give them 60 seconds each, and you and I are going to sit down after we finish filming in a few minutes and write the list of luggage they've got to pack for us.
Oh, okay, yes.
So the first part of it and how you enter is to take photos of you packing your suitcase or a video and send it to us on our Facebook page, BonVoyage.tv, look for that on Facebook, and you upload your video or your images. Olivia and I will choose the weekly winners. The weekly winners get the suitcase, and on the 16th of June, our show on the 16th of June, 3 of our viewers are going to come in and have a live pack-off, if we call it that, and the winner of that gets to fly on Hawaiian Airlines to Hawaii.
Wow, that's amazing.
Gets to stay in my favourite hotel, the Modern in Honolulu. You've seen pictures of that. It's a great little hotel. That's for 5 nights, and you can extend, if you want to stay longer than 5 nights, you can extend at your own expense. We'll also throw in travel insurance from Allianz Insurance.
Ah, you're all covered.
Of course, a set of luggage. So basically what we'll need you to do is send us a video or images of you packing what you're going to be taking to Hawaii.
Okay, and it's not all just about the packing, is it? It's about the personality you were saying before.
We'll be looking for packing personality as well, skill. We may just like the look of you. No, there are serious judging requirements. Please refer to our website for the terms and conditions.
And this is just super exciting because we're giving away a complete holiday from the flights all the way to the luggage and the accommodation.
Not only that, we will make sure the winners are there on a Friday night. And I will arrange a full-on fireworks display for them.
Really?
Absolutely, guaranteed.
That's very exciting. Wow.
It's just one of the things we can do at Bon Voyage Cruises and Travel and Bon Voyage TV.
Amazing.
So with that exciting news, we have actually run out of time. So check us out on Facebook. Look out, search for Bon Voyage TV. Go to our website, bonvoyage.co.nz, and you could be going to Hawaii. So join us next week, and in the meantime, Bon Voyage!